Jean-Pierre was the most famous French fighter pilot of the Second World War. And when the Germans invaded France, Jean-Pierre crossed the Channel and joined the Free French arm of the Royal Air Force. Every day, Jean-Pierre would climb into the cockpit of his Spitfire and fly over the fields of northern France, his beloved country, shooting down every German aircraft that he saw. Jean-Pierre was an ace fighter pilot. The side of his cockpit was covered in swastikas, one swastika for each German aircraft he had shot down. One day, after Jean-Pierre had been with the RAF for 2 years, his commanding officer called him into his office and said, "Jean-Pierre, you are an inspiration to all the other pilots. You are our best fighter pilot. But I'm a little concerned that if you were to get shot down, this would be terrible for morale. Therefore, I insist that you take 2 weeks R&R." Now, Jean-Pierre was not very happy with this suggestion. And Jean-Pierre responded saying, "2 weeks vacation? You want me to take 2 weeks vacation? I am Jean-Pierre, the most famous French fighter pilot, and I cannot rest or relax until I have freed my beloved country from my odious enemy, the Germans." The commanding officer, wiping his brow, continued with his British stiff upper lip in maintaining that Jean-Pierre should take some R&R. Jean-Pierre, on his part, argued firmly against the concept. After 2 hours, Jean-Pierre reluctantly agreed to take 1 week's vacation. Now, Jean-Pierre was a hot-blooded Frenchman. So Jean-Pierre spent his vacation in a small cottage in the south of England, in Devon, with 2 young, nubile French women. One of the young ladies was lying, exhausted, asleep, nude, naked, on the sofa after Jean-Pierre's passion. The other young lady was lying on the bed, also naked, next to Jean-Pierre. And she looked lovingly at Jean-Pierre and said, "Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre, 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 kiss my lips, Jean-Pierre." Jean-Pierre reached over to the bedside cabinet and took a bottle of red wine, poured a large glass, quaffed it around, savored the aroma, and put the glass to his lips. And the young lady said, "Well, Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre, what are you doing, Jean-Pierre?" Jean-Pierre responded by saying, "I am Jean-Pierre, the most famous French fighter pilot. And when I eat red meat, I drink red wine, of course." "Ah, Jean-Pierre, 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 kiss my breasts, Jean-Pierre." So Jean-Pierre reached over to the bedside cabinet and this time took a bottle of white wine, poured himself a glass, quaffed the wine around, savored the aroma, and put the glass to his lips. And the young lady said, "Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre, what are you doing, Jean-Pierre?" And he responded, "I am Jean-Pierre, the most famous French fighter pilot. And when I eat white meat, I drink white wine, of course." "Ah, Jean-Pierre, oh Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre, kiss my nipples, Jean-Pierre." Jean-Pierre reached over the bedside cabinet and took a bottle of rosé, poured a large glass of the wine, quaffed it around, savored the aroma, and put the glass to his lips. And the young lady said, "Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre," becoming a little frustrated at this point, "Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre, what are you doing, Jean-Pierre?" And Jean-Pierre responded, I am Jean-Pierre, the most famous French fighter pilot. And when I eat pink meat, I drink pink wine. Ah, Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre. The young lady looked at Jean-Pierre and said, oh, Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre, kiss my pussy, Jean-Pierre. So Jean-Pierre reached over to the bedside cabinet and took a bottle of Courvoisier, poured himself a large glass of the cognac, quaffed it around, warming the liquid delicately in the palm of his hand, savored the aroma, and threw it all over her. Took his cigarette lighter, flambé, and the young lady, Jean-Pierre, 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 what are you doing, Jean-Pierre? And he said, I am Jean-Pierre, the most famous French pilot. And when I go down in flames.